Hey scrapbookers and crafters, it's Michelle at michellesizemore.com. That has one L in my first name if you're looking for my website link. I'm a creative memories advisor, and today you'll learn how to make this really quick and easy page using the Flurries of Fun. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Flurries of Fun Creative Memories Collection. It's our winter collection for 2024. All right, well, let's get started. I'll show you everything that I used. I have everything that I used in this Power Project sleeve, which is just a quick and easy place to keep everything all together where you can just easily grab it out the side. The opening is on the top and the side, so just reach in, grab all your stuff, pull it out, and set that aside for another project. All right, our background piece of paper is this one. And it's just pretty snow. And then our side piece is this stripe right here. This is a scrap of my paper. I always try to use up my scraps first. Then this little strip right here is this red sort of a plaid. And I used this sticker from the Flurries of Fun collection right here. And then here I used ruled paper. Here it is. I have a scrap of that. This comes in 12 by 12 sheets, cut to fit, and then put a little sticker here. And this is from the Variety Matte Pack from Flurries of Fun. All right, well, let's get started. This is really fast and easy to make. Okay. First of all, I need to get a good 12-inch straight line on here because this is a scrap. So I'm going to take my 12-inch trimmer, open up my arm, make sure the little foot is open. It flips open to give you a level surface area for measuring your paper. And I'm just going to cut off right here. Well, let's cut off where the circle ends. Now, the blade is going to come on this left-hand side dotted line, so that's where I want to line it up to make sure I get as close to that circle as possible so I don't waste my paper. And just a little bit of that's open here. So I'm going to take my little clear guide right here that has a straight line in it and just make sure, yep, it's going to cut right beside that circle. Okay, so I've got my straight line and I'll set this aside to do something else with later. And I need to cut. Now, I've written down the measurements for you. Y'all might want to take a screenshot of this with your phone or just follow along, and you can always go back and rewatch the video and pause. But this stripe paper is 12 inches long by 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to measure to 1.5 inches wide, which is right there. You can also measure here. But there's my 1-inch mark and there's the 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to line it up so that the straight edge lines up with that 1.5 inch mark. Make sure it follows this grid line all the way down right here. Okay, and it does, and just cut with the straight blade. The straight blade is in here. So I've got that strip. Now for this red strip, I need it to be a 1/2 inch wide, and of course it's 12 inches long. Now, I've used up all my scraps of this, so I need a new one. So I'm going to measure to 1/2 inch right here. You could also measure to 1/2 inch here, whichever you prefer. But I'm going to do it over here and make sure it follows that grid line all the way down to keep it straight. And then you also want to make sure it's straight at the top. The reason that I pulled out this little lever, it's got a little raised area here for your paper to just go up against to keep it straight. Okay, it's all straight, and I'm going to cut my 1-inch line. So that's super easy. Put my scraps aside here. All right, and then let's go ahead and mount that. So I'm going to mount this first. I'm going to grab my repositionable tape runner. That's what I always craft with. Keep it closed when you're storing it, just to keep stuff from sticking to the adhesive, and push it. I've got it upside down. Push it toward me to open it up so that this is open, because this is where the adhesive comes off, this little pointy edge. You want to place this down and pull it toward you. So make sure the pointy edge is what goes on the paper, and it'll gradually get adhesive onto your paper. So like this. And I'm just going to put little dabs all the way down. You don't need a lot because that would be really wasteful. And maybe a few dabs down the middle. And I just want to line that up with my left hand edge right here. Line it up on the side and the top and the bottom and just press it down to make it stick. And then we need to put some repositionable on here. I'm just going to put a few dabs all the way down. And then we're going to line that up next to it. Press it down to make it stick. Now, I just need to add my blue snowflake sticker right here. All of this is from Flurries of Fun, our new winter collection, which I love. I love the colors in this collection. And then just line that up. You want to line it up so that it centers right over where these papers meet together. So there's that. Quick and easy border. Could not get too much faster than that. And then to get this right here, I used this from the Variety Matte Pack that comes with the collection. And I cut 1 inch off of each side to make it a square. So let's do this with the new photo trimmer. I love this new photo trimmer. Pull this up and line this with the 1 inch mark right here. And make sure it follows that grid line all the way down. And hold this down pretty tight so that it doesn't slip on you. And cut. And then you can always save this to do something else with. And then do the same thing to the other side. Line it up with that 1 inch mark. Follow the grid line all the way down. Make sure it's straight at the top and cut. And I will say this blade is sharp. So just make sure when you hold this plastic down to keep everything straight, you hold your finger on the plastic and not over here. We don't want any emergency room visits because of scrapbooking. No way. Okay, so now I have that in the shape of a square. I can always save these to do little journaling on, or to add some little stickers to where you have a little blank space to put it. It would be cute with like some little toboggans and mittens, little swirls or something. Okay, so set that aside. And we're going to place that right here. I'm not going to mount it yet. I'm just going to show you where things go. Place that right there. And then this little piece right here, got to find my measurements. Here they are. So I cut that little journal box to 4 inches wide by 1 1/4 inch long, this way, 1 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to grab that ruled paper and I want to cut it to 4 inches wide. I'm going to measure it at the 4 inch mark right there. Make sure it follows that grid line all the way down, straight at the top, cut with my straight blade, and then flip it this way, and it needs to be, 1 1/4. Okay. I'm going to measure it over here to, this is 1 1/2, so this is 1 1/4 right here. Line it up to that mark, make sure it follows the grid line all the way down, make sure it's straight all the way across, and cut. And now I have my little ruled paper to journal on. I use that all the time. And then I would need to cut my photos. So I have some pretend photos here. Actually, they're index cards, but I just use these to teach with. So I'll show you, I'm not going to crop all of these, but I'll show you how I cropped one of them. So you could just put photos here, you know, where they're just photos. Or you could cut your photos and then mat them with white paper. I think it would be pretty to mat with white paper. So let's cut the photo first. The photo would be 5 inches by 3 1/2 inches. So we're going to measure this, put this under this plastic piece, 5 inches, and it's going to actually match up with this vertical and horizontal line, and make sure it's straight. Make sure it's straight at the top. Hold your finger over the plastic, but not too far, and cut. So that's 5 inches wide, and we're going to flip it, and it needs to be 3.5 inches tall. So I'm going to measure that at the 3.5 inch mark. Make sure it follows the grid lines there and there. Make sure it's straight at the top. Hold your finger there and cut. So that is how I would get this photo. It would start out as a 4x6. I don't know if y'all can see that. Now, if I were to cut a mat, I would simply, I'm not going to do it because the process is the same, but I would simply cut it 1/4 of an inch longer each way. So if the photo is 5 inches by 3.5 inches, you would cut your mat to 5 1/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. That is to get a skinny mat. So if you want a wider mat, you can cut it wider, but I like skinny mats. So this would be, I know you probably can't, my photo would be on top of the mat, and then you'd have like a winter photo with a white mat around it. So that's how easy it is to do. And then you would just mount your little piece that you cut here and add these little mittens here. I love these little red mittens in toboggan. So just add the mittens right there to give you several splashes of red on your page. And that's all you do. Easy breezy. And I love this collection. I love the blues and the reds. It's together. It's just, the red really pops, and it makes it look really festive and fun. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday and a Happy New Year. Thank you. Bye.